And we're back again. We had a huge debate. We had, in fact, the chicken or the egg debate. We don't start because not all the people are in the room, and not all the people are in the room because we don't start. So we've decided to start anyway, right now. We're back now. One of my biggest challenges as a marketer was choosing the marketing technology stack I use. With all the tools available out there, I struggled to find the best ones and the ones that best fit my interests and needs. And this is why I was very happy when Travis Wright accepted to come here all the way from the US in order to share his valuable insights on choosing your marketing technology stack. Travis, thank you very much for joining. Enlighten us, please.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here. Thank you, everyone. All right, so today I'm going to talk about marketing technologies, different tools, different tactics, and things you might want to know as we're evolving in this new marketing space. And a quick little rundown of who I am. Here I am. I was actually a Russian linguist in the U.S. Army, so I can speak a little Russian for you. Здравствуйте, как дела? Что вы делаете сейчас? Digital marketing. All right, so good stuff. So as we know, there's lots and lots of silos of data within our organizations. And a lot of times this data doesn't speak very well together. And that's a challenge. And we need this data to work together so we can get those insights. And so with all this data, we want them to be bros. We want the social, the search data, all the other data to be bros. It's important. How do we do that? Through our marketing technologies and our data solutions. Good stuff. So everybody is becoming more data-driven. It's very important for us to be data-driven because it helps us make decisions that are appropriate for our business. So, anybody here familiar with the TV show Mad Men? Seen the TV show, right? So, traditionally they would sit back and drink some scotch and be like, I got a good idea. Well, let's try it out. Let's see if it works. Good idea. And well, that's changing. So we're evolving from being a madman to being mathmen, right? Being more data-driven and using effective marketing solutions. And when we look at what that looks like, there's lots of different hubs, lots of different channels that we can do marketing in today. And all of it's tied together with web analytics, right? I think web analytics are very important. The user experience, you tie it into your customer relationship manager, but really it's all about that data and the analytics and the reporting that you understand. It helps you understand your marketing mix better. It helps you figure out which marketing strategies you want to do, right? And it helps you recognize your customer and help them through their customer journey. And that's a very important thing. And when we look at the different stages of the buyer cycle, the customer journey, you have the awareness cycle, the consideration cycle, conversion, hopefully they become your customer. Once they become your customer, really it's good if you can have them become an advocate for your brand, right? And notice all these different channels, display, native advertising, affiliate, social search, all of them are tied. The only one that fits all those channels is analytics. So, if you're not tracking stuff, you're not going to be able to change it effectively because you don't know what's not working. So make sure you get your analytics squared away. Now this slide right here is the history of marketing channels. And when we look at this, the first marketing channels way back there in 1839, and that was, became illegal in London to put posters on poles. You're spamming my poles with your posters, so don't be doing that. That's illegal. So that was one of the first times people were actually marketing, quote unquote. And then you have, as we've evolved through time, the radio and television. And when we look right here where it says the future, right over there, that's 2007. That's the future according to 2007. And then this happened. You guys seen this? There are 46 different categories of technologies that are on this particular slide. And this was the 2014 version. This actually doubled to 2015. Now there's almost 2,000 different companies. There's 900 and something companies on this one. There's over 2,000 companies now. But that still doesn't include all of them. There's literally over 5,000 different marketing technologies out there to choose from. How do you choose the right one? It's tough. So what's happening is we're becoming MarTech men and MarTech women, right? So it's very important for us to sort of understand how these technologies all work together. So here are some that is just maybe pertinent to someone who's doing content marketing or they're doing social media. These are the ones that are relevant for them. There's still a ton in there, right? So I took out all the stuff and smashed them all in here. There's about 300 and 400 of them just in those little categories right there. And you look at all those logos, and like, how do they come up with some of those names? That's crazy. So what I've done for you guys is I have a link, ccpglobal.com/howtoweb. This has my presentation on it for you guys. It has it has an Excel document of all of these marketing technologies broken down by category for you guys to download as well. And I have another guide in there for you guys. That's all free stuff. So we're moving forward in an omni-channel world. And what does omni-channel mean? This graphic right here really describes it. So we're talking about a single channel. This is just a customer experience, is just one touch point of your brand, okay? And if we're moving forward to multi-channel, they're experiencing different channels, but they're not all really connected. And then we move to the cross-channel world. Cross-channel is, well, they experience your brand, but it's still kind of disjointed. They're not. It looks like it's all part of one thing, but it's not quite all together. But that's where omni-channel comes in, where it's like the nirvana of marketing. The customers are experiencing your brand, no matter where they are. If they're on mobile, if they go to your store, if they go to your website, it's all the same. It's connected to them, and a lot of times it's personalized. So we're talking about personalization as well, and how marketing and using this data allows us to create a better marketing experience for customers. So we want the holy grail of marketing. Dun, 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 dun. We want to move beyond this integrated marketing and cross-device. You want to be able to connect people on whichever device they're on. If they're on their mobile phone, or they're on their tablet, if they're on their desktop. How do you know which one is the right one? You got to be able to connect those. And this allows you to do one-to-one personalization with people. So in some ways it's kind of creepy. In some ways it's really cool. So there's like a fine line we're kind of balancing. But you want to be able to personalize, because then things are more relevant to the person you're talking to, right? So you want to own all of your data. Again, very important. And you want to move beyond this optimization. You want to move towards what I call awesomization. You can use that word. I love it. Awesomization. So people are using multiple devices all the time. I mean, how many people we all have smartphones. Most of us have laptops. Some of us have tablets, and we're on them at different times, right? And so how do we track that? And also, when you consider that we're on our smartphone, people check their smartphones 150 times a day. Isn't that crazy? It's like, oh my, I haven't checked my phone in like 15 minutes. I'm already freaking out a little. I need to check my phone. Be right back. So people are using different devices when they're shopping, right? Checking to see what kind of deals are out there. They have their Fitbit on. I have my Fitbit on, right? What about Google Glass? Anybody here at Glass Hole? Any Glass Holes? No? I haven't seen anybody wear Google Glass in a while. I guess they're embarrassed of them. They're ashamed of their Google Glassness. Apple Watch, so there's different ways that things are being integrated, and how are those being tracked, and how are you able to connect all of this stuff. It's amazing, a lot of information. So I want to talk a little bit about the marketing cloud, and I showed you this graphic right here. It's crazy. Again, it doubled in the past couple of years, and it's not going away, right? Here's a cool tool that you guys can all use. It's free. It's called GHOSTEry. And this comes in really handy when you're looking at websites on the web to see which technologies they're using, right? So this tracks over 2,000 technologies now. And for example, here's what it does. So if you go to a website, say for example Home Depot, you see the little purple bar over there. That's actually telling you every single technology that Home Depot is currently using on their site. So they have Adify, Adobe Test and Target, Wright, they have Certona, ClickTail, Crazy Egg, Criteo, and Citon. They have some other tools on there as well. So it's really interesting, especially if you look at your competitor's website. You go, ooh, what are they using on their site? Maybe there's some things on it that I might need to demo to test out. Maybe they know something I don't know, right? And looking at different people in the industry to see which technologies they're using. It's Very, very handy tool. I love that tool. It's pretty awesome. Here's an example of the enterprise level of Ghostery. We'll actually show you how their stacks are built. So this is, which was this is Home Depot again, and you can see they have a tag manager right there, which is Untitled, and they're deploying all of their technologies through that platform, which is best in case practice to do. That's the best practice, is to have a tag manager solution and deploy your tags through that. Because if not, and I'll talk about it a little bit later here, but what happens is if you're trying to deploy tags on every single page, it can be really messy. So I took all of these and I smashed them all together and made a heart, because I really love marketing technology. Aww. Here's a cloud of those same technologies. And so let's talk about what are these marketing clouds. Typically, if you're an enterprise business and you're looking to use some of the big companies, it's typically a non-integrated solution. There's a lot of big companies out there who have acquired all of these technologies. They've spent a ton of money buying really cool marketing technologies and piecing them together and then trying to integrate them and then calling them a marketing cloud, right? And so what's happened? Well, for example, here's Adobe. Adobe has purchased all of these companies over the past 5 years to put together to build their marketing cloud. They didn't build their marketing cloud, they bought their marketing cloud. Quite a bit of money. You can see each one. They bought Omniture for $1.8 billion, right? Who would like to have that startup to sell it for $1.8 billion? That would be awesome, right? Oracle, they've done the same thing. They purchased all of these companies to put together to create their marketing cloud. Salesforce, same deal. Salesforce just recently bought another one, but they're still not done. These companies they don't have a complete marketing cloud yet. They're getting close. IBM, same thing. So what I call this is a Frankenstein effect. They're sort of trying to put these different pieces together and call it integrated. And Frankenstein. This right here has 4 GIFs in one slide, people. That is amazing. 4 GIFs. Oh. So when we look at this, how much have they spent? These big guys have spent $11.2 billion buying these technologies to integrate and create their marketing cloud. That's crazy. $11 billion. So is there money in marketing technology? Probably, I would say. Probably, yeah. So, talking about tag management again, why is that important? So, you have all these different types of technologies, right? I showed you there were 46 different categories that were in that one slide. Well, what tag management allows you to do is deploy all of them through one solution, right? So, there's different technologies, Insight, Telium, Adobe has one, Google Tag Manager, Wright Tag recently became Signal. So a tag manager is a really important foundational key in your marketing stack that you're building for yourself. Very important. So why is that important? Well, maybe you want to use Omniture from the Adobe stack, and maybe you want to use Blue Kai, or you want to use a piece of a component from each of these different big clouds. You can if you have your own tag manager that you're able to deploy those tags through, right? So you don't have to be locked into those big companies, which is huge. So again, if you're a small company, if you're an SMB, Google has a free tag manager solution. You can install it within moments. It's one line of code. You put it in the head of your document, the head of your website, and it works. You can then you log into your tag management tool, and then you deploy additional JavaScripts and pixels through that platform instead of placing them on each individual page. That works really well. So here's a company that's using Google Tag Manager. Starbucks is using Google Tag Manager. They're not deploying everything through it. You can see there's several things that they're not deploying that they have that they're doing manually, and then they have Google Tag Manager and they're deploying all the rest of the stuff there. So interesting. So, and if you're an enterprise level business, Insight is a really great platform. When I was at Symantec as the global digital strategist there, this was one of the tools that we used. And not only are you able to use it from a tag manager perspective, but you can do it on mobile, so you can actually update your apps without actually recompiling your app and sending it to the App Store. They have analytics for analytics. So you can actually track which marketing technologies are working on your website, how fast they're going, are you collecting all of the data effectively, And then it creates this data layer, which then allows you to stitch all of the data from all your marketing technologies that you're using, compile a profile about that person, and then send it to all the different ad networks that you're using so that each one of the ad networks that you are working with has an exact same standard set of data, which is very, very helpful. So here's a company, another one that's using inside Microsoft Store. So you can see, you deploy that through your tag manager, and then all these other technologies are deployed off of that. Next, you'll love this one. This is one that's not using Tag Manager at all. This is TMZ.com. I don't know if you've heard of this website or not. They're a paparazzi website. They follow around celebrities. And I'm not quite sure what they were trying to accomplish on this one. There's really no plan on this. They do have a Tag Manager. You can see the green one right up there. They do have a tag, but they have nothing deployed through it. So if I was in charge of this, I would fire the IT guy. That is really bad. So another thing that's important is actually this data layer. And what is the data layer? Well, this really, again, data being the lifeblood of your digital marketing, and being able to synchronize your data definition. So when you have this layer that is collecting all your data, then you're able to do amazing things with it. As I said, you're able to standardize it, control which data gets sent to the separate vendors. And it's really good for vendor attribution as well, and actually to figure out where the value is coming through. So right here, you want to think about all the different types of technologies and how they might be able to work together. The fun stuff happens in the middle when you're able to connect all that stuff. So when they're in silos, they don't work as well. They're not talking to one another. You can get them to talk to one another. It works really well. So what I want you to think about is think about your website and look at the assets on your website as, layers, dimensions, and decisions that you can make on your website, or the visitors can come to your website and make. For example, let's take a look at this website here. This is a telecom company in Australia, and you can see, actually no, this is a bank. No, this is a telecom, yeah, the Wi-Fi network. So you can see all the layers right there on all the different areas that are different layers on the site. So you can actually switch those layers out based on the context of the visitor coming to your website. So you can change the content of your site based on the context of your visitor. That's phenomenal. That's amazing to be able to do, because then you can be more personalized and you can make a better offer at the right time to the right person. It works really well. So here's AT&T. This is a telecom provider in the States, and their website's very flat. They're not testing really anything. Everybody's getting the exact same website whenever they visit it. Now, here is an example of Staples. This is an office products website, and you can see there's lots of different layers on their website. Things are being tested. People are coming to the site. Maybe it's a 75-year-old person from Florida coming to the site. They're going to show them different content than if it's a 18-year-old in California, right? They're going to show them different things, and that's very valuable because you can customize, and when you can customize and personalize, you can create way more conversions. Here's ESPN. And I like this. This is interesting when you can see the layers of the site from a wireframe perspective. So those are all the different divs, all the different layers, the dimensions on the site, which again can then help you with the decisions that people can make on your site. Here's Facebook, right? Look at all the different dimensions and divs and layers that are on your Facebook page. It's crazy. Another thing to consider is that retailers year over year are losing over $100 billion US every year in poorly executed cross-channel marketing efforts. That is a lot of money to be thrown away. How do you fix that? By having some of these technologies in place to be able to help you make better decisions and help your customers when they come to the site be able to make better decisions. So we want to talk about personalization and attribution. Look at all these different, whenever somebody finally converts over here, you're like, all right, I did Google Ads, that worked. Google AdWords, that worked perfectly. Look, it converted. But it doesn't take into consideration. Maybe they saw a banner on Yahoo. Maybe they read a piece of content on your website. Maybe they downloaded the white paper. So you want to make sure, having the right technologies in place will help you with your attribution as well. And so I've talked about tag management and how that's an important foundation for your marketing stack. The other two key elements, I think, for your marketing stack is going to be your CRM, which is your customer relationship management tool, and the marketing automation platform that you're using, because you want to be able to market to them effectively. I would say the fourth platform would be your data management platform, a DMP, which helps you manage your data effectively. So when we're talking about a CRM, CRM can help you do quite a little bit. It can help you manage projects, helps you manage all the relationships that you have, which stage of the relationship, with each one of your potential prospects. CRM, very, very important. Also, marketing automation, very, very important, right? You want to get as many people that are the right type of people in your funnel as possible, and you want to help them become a qualified lead. You want to get them to a sales qualified lead. Eventually, you want to get them as a win, right? So you want to make sure that you are testing out. There's lots of different marketing automation platforms out there. There's lots of different CRMs. Figure out which one's the right one for you. All right? This is going to allow you to be more agile. Like this guy right here. This is the most agile big guy you've ever seen ever. Look at him. Ta-da! Is that not inspiring? Does anyone want to do a backflip right now? Someone do a backflip off the stage right now. So all these marketing technologies really do help you become more agile in your efforts. Unlike this guy. This guy is not agile at all. Oh, look at it. This poor guy. What's great about this guy is when he falls down, first thing he does, he checks his launch. His launch is there. But I want to see the other angle of this one. Does he just ride it all the way up? Because it doesn't look like he's trying to get up at all. He's just lounging. He doesn't get pinched at the top of the thing. I'm concerned about that. All right. So you need to know your customers. This is an important thing. So anybody, when you're in any business, who are your ideal customers? And so Forrester is calling what we're in right now the age of the customer. And so we really need to be obsessed about engaging our customers effectively. And that's where the CRM and marketing automation platforms really come in handy. Here's a tool called Up Close and Persona. This will allow you to sort of walk through with a WYSIWYG and create a persona. It's not the best approach, I would say, but it's a good enough approach to get started. Here's another marketing template to sort of get inside the mindset of the person you're marketing to. What are their problems we're trying to solve? Well, if they don't come to our site to hear about us and how great we are, we want to know how we're helping them, right? What's in it for them? That's why they want to buy from you, because you're solving some problem that they have. And if we can solve their problem, that works really well. So another thing that works really well, and I'm going to go through some of these slides here and kind of kick some of these out, but when you're talking about marketing to different people, content marketing is becoming very, very important. And why is that? Well, because according to Adobe research, there's almost 200 million people that are blocking ads already. And now with the new iPhone, you can block ads on the iPhone now. So I've blocked ads in a lot of different places. So what's really working now is not a lot of advertising. A lot of advertising does work in some cases. It works on Facebook, it works on LinkedIn, and Google ads still work in some places. But with more and more people kicking off ads, we have to be creative about how we're thinking about this. So, what would you rather do than be interrupted by an ad? Probably anything, right? A lot of ads suck, right? So I'm going to go through these really quick. I'm condensed on time, but you can have access again to this presentation. Here are some really good ways to do content planning and research. These are some really great tools. One of the interesting ones, here's one called Days of the Year. You can see there's a holiday every single day of the year. Maybe you want to create content that's relevant to that particular holiday. An editorial calendar is very important. If you use WordPress, here's a really great WordPress, there's a WordPress editor that allows you to schedule all of your content in there. Again, keyword research, very important. This is one of the things that we had a debate at Semantic with Norton was, all right, how do we, what is it? Is it an antivirus? Is it an anti-hyphen virus? Is it an anti-space virus? What are people searching for, right? And if you notice, with English, Google groups those together. If you use a hyphen or a space, Google will group those together. Now, with different languages, Google has different rules in different places, so that's something you need to figure out how that's relevant for your different buyers. Now, this is a cool tool. It's called Uber Suggest, and you can type in a keyword, and then it will go out and figure out every single other potential keyword that might match with that pertaining to additional letters. So what does that mean? So say marketing, and then we'll go out and look marketing plus A. What starts with A? Marketing automation, that's one. And it'll give you 10 for each particular letter. So marketing plus A, marketing automation, marketing analytics, marketing assistant, job, marketing analyst, marketing agency. Interesting stuff there. So that's Uber Suggest. And if we're creating content, there's literally tons of different ways and different pieces of content that we can create. Some of it which is interactive, right? A lot of great stuff out there. Periodic table of content marketing. This slide right here is very helpful for you guys when you download the deck. Take a look at this, or just actually Google the periodic table of content marketing. It will share with you all the different tactics, all the different sort of channels and tools, and the different types of content that you can use. This right here is very effective. I would print this out and put it on your wall if you are at all responsible for content creation in your industry. Now, if you're in B2B, your content marketing, the B2B, there's a lot of different types of content that are working for people in the B2B space. Social media other than blogs, articles on other people's websites, I think that works really well. Articles on your own websites, case studies, webinars, right? Getting people in your ecosystem is very important, getting them in your email database, and then being able to market them with your other pieces of information that's coming out. So, based on, I guess there's a Star Wars coming out. Have we heard this? Is this true? I guess a lot. Worldwide, I've seen like, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars. So help us, Obi-Wan content Toby. All right. Here are some really great ways to organize your content. There's, as I said, tons and tons of tools out there that are available for you guys to test out, most of them which are free, right? Storify is a great tool. Listly is a great way to organize data. Great stuff. Really good tools. Content curation. One of the Buffer, if you guys aren't using Buffer, Buffer should be something that you want to put on your browser because you find great content, you can put it in Buffer, and it will post it for you automatically. So you can go through one day, find 10 pieces of content, boom, 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 put it in your Buffer, and it will share it for you. So that's a really awesome tool. Another awesome tool is called Nuzzle. This tool right here is awesome if you're on Twitter, or if you're not on Twitter. It works really well if you are on Twitter, because it will find the best pieces of content that are being shared by the people that you follow, or the people that you have curated in lists. It finds the very best content that's being shared by the people that you care about most. And so then you can read what those people who you care about most are reading and sharing. That way you can learn from them, because that's what we really have to do in this space, is keep on learning. And the list functionalities, they just launched something brand new on this. This is a really, really good tool, and it's free, right? Great stuff. Another great tool is called BuzzSumo. BuzzSumo actually will go out and find every single piece of content out on the web, and it will tell you how many shares that those pieces of content have had. So you can type in any keyword, and you can see exactly how many shares that it's had. But not only that, you can then go in and export everybody who shared that piece of content. So maybe you're a scooter company. I saw a really cool scooter running around out there. Well, who's people who have talked about scooters or Vespa or anything? And who are those people? All right. Well, now you can get a list of those people and then export them and create a Twitter list or create a Twitter ad campaign targeting them. That's pretty awesome stuff. Content distribution, a lot of really great tools there. This right here is a bulk buffer tool. This allows you to upload multiple tools at once, or multiple articles at once, and you can share them staggered over the course of the next week. So you can upload 50 articles that maybe were on your blog that you just want to sort of, continue to share. That's a tool that will allow that. Start a Fire is an interesting tool. This right here can take any piece of content and you can do an overlay over that content over here, which has a call to action to additional information, right? So you might want to drive them to your website. You can share anything. Another cool tool is called Snipply. Snipply is a tool that allows you to put a call to action on any piece of content as well. This is one thing that was really interesting. So when I was working, with Semantic, I was experienced working with Insight, and so over the years, I've helped them with different things. And this was something that was really interesting. They wanted to get into Starbucks to talk to them, and so we created an article around Starbucks, the CEO of Starbucks. Did Facebook ads targeting only Starbucks employees at their headquarters, only executives there. And what was really interesting is that with this paid amplification, is we were able to target 2,500 Starbucks employees and 556 clicks of Starbucks employees. So now they're in the process of closing a $400,000 deal because we were able to get in front of them in that way. So start looking outside the box. How can you use content to target people you're reaching after? Same thing with Walmart. Targeted 7,100 people and got 1,100 clicks. Only Walmart employees that clicked those ads that were in the Walmart headquarters in Bentonville. Good stuff. So a lot of you can do the same thing on LinkedIn. Here's some really interesting lead sources. Again, CCP Global, How to Web. That's where this resource is going to be located at. A lot of different, people using inbound marketing. What are they using? Well, they're continually creating content. It's very, very important. We're running out of time here, so kind of running through some of this stuff. Native advertising is when you pay for a sponsorship on a website. And this is crazy when we look at this, how much money people are paying to put one article on like Time Magazine or one article on BuzzFeed. They're paying that out of pocket to have one article be published. It's a crazy amount of money for something like that. So a lot of great stuff going on here. We have promotional. I think it's very important to engage your influencers, engage your employees, get them to share content for you because your employees are trusted more than your brand is in a lot of ways. That may sound counterintuitive, but your employees all have their own audience, right? So we want to make sure that we engage them. That's very important. Here's a tool that will allow us to do some really cool stuff. Get Little Bird. We'll find any influencer in any space for you, any keyword, any location. It will find the most influential people at that space. Get Little Bird's pretty phenomenal. Great stuff. Basumo again. Conspire. Oh, Conspire is really great. This will allow you to find out the best route to connect to anyone. You say, hey, I want to talk to Richard Branson. Well, okay, good luck, right? But here's how you can do it. You can see, well, who's my friend that's connected closest to Richard Branson? It'll actually tell you the path to find those people. Another great tool is called Outreach.io. This will connect your LinkedIn plus your Gmail and your CRM together so you can do automated sales efforts. It's almost like marketing automation, but your sales guy is just automating stuff. It's pretty good stuff. BuzzStream allows you to build relationships really well. Pretty handy stuff. And this is a really cool tool. Voila Norbert. This will allow you to find pretty much anybody's email address out there. So where they work, what's their domain name, what's the name of the person, and it will find their email address. It'll say, hey, here's what I think their email address is. Pretty handy stuff. Lead IQ is a pretty cool tool. This is actually a widget that's on Chrome. So whenever you're using LinkedIn, and this is open as well, you click on somebody, it will tell you their email address, boom, you click it, it'll send it over to a Google document for you. Pretty handy stuff. Nimble, another really cool tool. TrackMaven, a cool tool which actually allows you to track what all your competitors are doing. Good stuff. All right, there we go. Again, lots of technologies, tons and tons of stuff out there, and I put them all together for you there on ccpglobal.com/howtoweb. Here's some more resources. There's some more. You get them all? They're all put right there for you guys. So there we go. That's my time. I appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity to be here, and we'll pass it back up.
Thank you very much, Travis. It is very insightful, and we'll definitely use the tools you recommended us. Unfortunately, we have no time left for Q&A, but Travis will be around today, so you can ask him anything during networking.